Top 10 Most Beautiful Cities in the World. Did you know that over half the world's population now lives in cities? And yet many people have never seen more than one or two of the most breathtaking urban wonders on Earth? Picture yourself walking along canals at sunrise, skyline glowing, centuries of history breathing on every stone. This is more than travel. It's witnessing human artistry in city form. Today, we explore the top 10 most beautiful cities in the world. Cities that blend nature, architecture, culture, and soul in ways that will leave you speechless. Venice, Italy. Venice is more than canals and gondolas. It's a city suspended between water and sky, where every bridge, arch, and window pane seems painted. Its architecture, from the Doge's Palace to Santa Maria della Salute, is ornate, dramatic, and drenched in centuries of art and history. But beauty comes with vulnerability. Flooding, known locally as acqua alta, threatens every facade. Rising tides threaten mosaics, and over-tourism strains narrow stone lanes. For travelers, practical advice: visit in shoulder seasons, book lodging with floodproofing, choose small canals by foot rather than noisy motorboats. Venice reminds us beauty often demands care, not just admiration. Kyoto, Japan. Kyoto feels like stepping into a living scroll painting. Maple leaves, ancient temples, quiet gardens, wooden machiya houses, tea ceremonies at dusk. Its delicate interplay of seasons gives Kyoto a beauty that shifts. Cherry blossoms in spring, crimson leaves in autumn, snow dusting in winter. But Kyoto also wrestles with modernization, keeping traditional crafts alive, preserving old neighborhoods under development pressure, and managing tourist numbers so that paths to shrines aren't clogged. Imagine temple steps crowded with selfie sticks rather than silent reverence. Still, you can soak in the soul if you plan smart. Visit off-peak hours, stay in small ryokan, learn a few Japanese customs so you tread lightly. Kyoto teaches that beauty is not static. It's in rituals, in impermanence, in daily acts of preservation. Cape Town, South Africa. Cape Town is dramatic. The flat top of Table Mountain, the azure Atlantic hugging white sandy beaches, vineyards rolling into foothills, and the soft glow of sunset over the Atlantic. It's raw beauty, where nature and city rub shoulders. But nature doesn't always play nice. Wildfires, droughts, and seasonal rains can test infrastructure. Social inequalities are stark. Some neighborhoods are unsafe after dark. Yet even in contrast, there is hope and vibrancy. Humorously, it's the one city where you might ski or surf in the same week, which is both wonderful and mildly confusing. Cape Town shows that beauty is often bold, sometimes precarious, but fully worth the risk. Paris, France. Paris is timeless elegance. The lacework of wrought iron balconies, the Seine winding beneath ancient stone bridges, the hush of museums, the glimmer of street lamps reflected in rain-wet pavement. Every boulevard feels designed, every cafe a stage for art and romance. But Paris has its problems. Overcrowded attractions, rising costs, pollution, strikes that can disrupt travel. Imagine waiting in line at the Louvre, the fog of exhaust in the cafe, the wallet that is crying. To make the most, stay off the beaten path now and then, learn a bit of French courtesy, go early to major sites, take local transport. Paris teaches that beauty isn't just what you see, but how you immerse yourself. Petra, Jordan. Petra emerges from rose-colored cliffs, ancient facades carved into sandstone, mysterious tombs, silken dust in the wind. Walking through the Sec until you first glimpse the treasury is cinematic awe in real life. But Petra is fragile. Erosion from wind and water, tourism footprint, preservation challenges. Waxing corridors of rock can crumble. Unregulated traffic can harm the stones. Heat and flash floods can threaten visitor safety. Still, there is magic. If you stay overnight in nearby desert camps, see Petra by candlelight, you feel history whispering. Petra reminds us that beauty is ancient, powerful, but vulnerable, and demands our respect. Prague, Czech Republic. Prague is like stepping into a fairy tale. Spires piercing the sky, red tile roofs, cobblestone bridges over the Vltava, old town squares echoing with bell chimes. Gothic, Baroque, Renaissance architecture collide in joyous abundance. But such antiquity carries risk. Aging infrastructure, rising maintenance costs, risk of damage from weather and traffic, pressure from tourism altering the city's character. Yes, souvenir shops sometimes outnumber bookshops, yet strolling early before the crowds, listening to street musicians beneath the astronomical clock, letting fog drift over the Charles Bridge, these are moments that heal the soul. Prague teaches that beauty is often woven through time, and preserving it is part gratitude, part care. Buenos Aires, Argentina. Buenos Aires has swagger, wide boulevards, ornate mansions, tango echoing in alleyways, murals coloring walls, late-night conversations over mate. It is passionate beauty, urban vitality dancing with history. But it also faces economic instability, political unrest at times, infrastructure gaps, and inequitable development. Imagine your favorite cafe closing overnight because inflation spikes, or streetlights flickering because power grids strain. Still, despite the chaos, there is charm, warmth, unexpected joy. Buenos Aires shows us beauty can be messy, musical, alive. And sometimes that is more beautiful than perfection. Sydney, Australia. Sydney greets you with sweeping harbor views. The Opera House sails against sunrise, Harbour Bridge framing fireworks, beaches of golden sand stretching beyond city lights. Nature and architecture in grand duet. Yet Sydney confronts environmental threats, rising sea levels, bushfire risk, coral bleaching, intense heat waves, housing affordability tensions. So even as you surf Bondi or picnic under jacaranda trees, you sense the fragility of this coastal beauty. Sydney reminds us that coastal beauty is breathtaking, but caring for it is essential. Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Rio de Janeiro is theatrical. Sugarloaf Mountain rising from sea, Christ the Redeemer arms outstretched over city, vibrant beaches, carnival colors pulsing in every street. It is beauty of rhythm, drama, contrast. But Rio also struggles with social inequality, safety concerns, urban sprawl, environmental pollution in bays, occasional political turbulence. Imagine watching that sunset from Ipanema and feeling uneasy once stars come out. Yet if you walk with a local, hear samba live, dive into local cuisine, you feel Rio's heart beating loud and true. Rio reveals that beauty often comes wrapped in tension, and knowing that makes you appreciate the bravery of living and creating in beauty. Istanbul, Turkey. Istanbul straddles two continents, where domes and minarets reflect in the Bosphorus, where centuries of empires layer over one another, where call to prayer echoes against sea winds. It is where East meets West in stone, spice, light, and sky. Yet it also lives with tension, seismic risk, urban crowding, traffic, modernization pressures that threaten old neighborhoods, political instability at times. Picture walking through the Grand Bazaar under soaring arches and noticing the cracks in centuries-old walls. Istanbul teaches that beauty is layered, over history, over struggle, and emerges from intersection, not isolation. In the comments, tell me, which city stunned you most? Which one you dream of walking through? Thank you for exploring with me. And until next time, keep your eyes open, your heart curious, and always chase beauty wherever it may live. Wherever